Blake has some updates. Blake has some positive updates for her case. Let's get into that today because this is actually quite important. For those of you who don't know, Blake had asked the judge to make certain parts of her information for attorney's eyes only. She doesn't want anybody out there knowing her business about her mental health issues. Now, I have an issue with that, and I'll get to that at the end of the video. But for now, let's read together what's going on with the case and the exact precise information of what happened. Blake Lively has recently achieved a legal victory in her ongoing dispute with Justin Baldoni. A federal judge granted a modified protective order to safeguard her sensitive communications and documents during the pre-trial phase of her SH and defamation lawsuit against Baldoni. This means that certain materials, including private texts and celebrity friends, will be marked for attorney's eyes only, limiting their exposure during discovery. However, this protection does not extend to the trial phase, where such documents could become public. That's very interesting. Let's note that. The legal conflict began in December 2024, when Lively accused Baldoni of SH and retaliation on the set of It Ends With Us. Baldoni has denied these allegations and countersued for defamation, seeking $400 million in damages. The trial is scheduled for March 2026, and as proceedings advance, further developments are anticipated. Okay, so she was able to achieve getting certain things hidden from the public for the pre-trial, but that's not going to protect her during the trial. It kind of gives her a moment to breathe, I guess. Like, it's giving her information out in stages. She's giving it in one stage to the attorneys only, and then the next stage it goes public when it is like actually at trial. Very interesting. I guess maybe what they're trying to do, and I'm not a lawyer, so we're going to surmise together, but the only thing I could think that they're trying to do is they're like, okay, give us the text. Let's see what part of these texts are actually related to the case. Because if she just hands over everything, conversations with other celebrities, she's exposing them as well. And so in a way, it's not fair to them. So I do understand why the judge would say, okay, for now, it's a temporary hold. Lawyers, attorneys, look at exactly what is in these texts that is relevant to your case, and then extract what is relevant to your case and use that. And I can see that, and that will come out publicly. Like, for instance, if there's anything with Taylor Swift and her trying to devise a plan on being dragons or whatever, you know, like it will get to the bottom of all that. And that information will then be used. And I can see that that's a very smart decision on the behalf of the judge. The reason why, the judge is the judge, right? Sometimes, guys, say hi to Besos. She loves making her cameo now since the last time she did it. Besos, are you going to sit up here with us for a minute? Let's see. I think she's going to become a permanent part of the prop here. So, or maybe she'll just keep making a cameo. I apologize. I digress. Okay, so what I'm thinking now is that in her text messages, she knows that she speaks to a lot of other celebrities that has nothing to do with the case. And she's just like, yo, back up, everybody. I don't want that information, my private conversations with them, getting out. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to extract all the information in any of the text messages that has to do with Baldoni. They're going to keep relevant to the case. So for instance, let's say she's talking to I don't know, like let's say a person that hasn't even been mentioned yet in the media. I'm just going to take someone out the pot of my head. Katy Perry. I don't even know if they're friends. But let's say she messages Katy Perry and she's like, hey, yeah, you know what? Baldoni was a little handsy on set today and it really made me feel uncomfortable. They'll extract that. They're not going to extract, other personal stuff about these celebrities. So I can definitely see where the judge is coming from on that, and I don't think it is a win for Blake at all. I think it's actually quite the opposite. I think it is a win for the people in her life that really want this private. They want to be kept private. People probably are like, I'm not even going to text message her for a while. Like, lose my number, Blake. Lose my number. Or they keep her on unread. They're like, oh, no way am I going to answer her. Like, I'll call her, I'll email her. Even that they probably are refraining from. Because, listen, straight up, I would not want conversations that I have with someone to be put out in public. And that's just, I think, all of us. So now the other thing that I do want to talk about as well is the elephant in the room, her mental health condition. Now, her lawyers have admittedly said that she has a profound mental health condition. And she doesn't want that out in the public either. Now, if that has anything to do with this case, it needs to be out in the public, because if that is one of the reasons for her to file a grievance report, like maybe she has some type of a paranoia or maybe she has some type of personality disorder, then that would have to be discussed in the court case, I believe. Again, I'm not an attorney, but I'm just saying, after doing so, like looking at I'm a true crime junkie. I actually have a true crime channel called Fairfax Files, so check it out. Go on there and support me because it's a relatively new channel. Now, I am thinking, you know what, Blake? Just come right on out. Tell the people what your condition is, because this is actually a way not to win the people over, but to help other people who may be dealing with the same type of challenges in their life. There are people out there who are battling the same challenge, and they would be able to look at her and be like, wow, this is a woman who's married to an A-lister. This is a woman who is like a solid C or a solid B lister herself. And wow, life is not perfect. Money can't buy mental health. And it gives other people hope out there who may be battling, again, the same challenges. Mental health is not a death sentence, and it should not be embarrassing for those people who are battling it. It just says that they went through something in life, they're living life, they experienced something that affected their mindset, and there's ways to get past it. She's a woman that can go on set, she can remember her lines, she can show up and get things done. This is impressive to people who are battling mental health. They will be like, wow, if she can do it, they can do it, right? So I think this is a way that Blake can actually help herself by just putting everything out there, and she's not doing it. Wow, what a surprise, Blake. It's all about Blake. And I know somebody that has mental health concerns, they may want to keep them secret. And it's totally understandable that that's what they may want to do. But when they're caught up in a situation like what Blake is caught up in, and she wants to hide everything after trying to expose somebody else, we really have to weigh the odds. Was she exposing them because she was dealing with health issues at the time? Look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z is now suing the young lady who said he took advantage of her with P. Diddy when she was 13 years old. He's like, listen, you can't come at me if it's not a true story. And I don't agree that he should be suing her. I do believe that he can gain better favor just by going out there and saying to the people, look, I'm going to help mental health. It has greatly affected my life for a moment, and it affected my wife, my children, my home, my state of mind. So I want to help. But what he's doing is he's retaliating, and he wants to sue her for saying those things. And I doubt she even has a pot to pee in. So that's where I'm like, JZ, you can gain a lot more favor by being a lot more cooler. But I can't call that situation. Hopefully, Jay-Z, by some magical moment, will be able to hear this little tidbit of advice, and he thinks to himself, hey, yeah, that's a good piece of advice right there. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to perpetuate mental health concerns. And at the same time, back to Blake, I really do feel that you are trying to keep the situation about your mental health secret, but what if it was your mental health that created this whole entire time bomb? Think about it. So this is where I'm like, you know what? I can get where the judge is coming from. He's like, okay, for certain purposes, temporary order, and for other purposes, we're going to have to expose certain things that are related to the case. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. So if you found this video interesting, go ahead and subscribe. And please, after you subscribe, go ahead and hit that like button, because it lets YouTube know that you enjoyed this video. And it also lets me know that you enjoyed sharing time with me. Another favor that I really want you to do, please, be good to yourself. I'm a soul coach, and I talk to people every day about life and spiritual development and just loving themselves. And I would really love if you could be good to yourself today. Speak kindly to yourself and be certain that you make the best out of this day, because not every day is promised to you. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. I'm Sister Cerise, and I'm so happy to have shared this time with you. Bye. I love you.